Jakara Kami carries herself the way a melody fills a room, gently at first, then impossible to ignore. Her figure isn't a headline, it's harmony. The graceful arcs of her body move with the same rhythm as her laughter, bold and soft all at once. On camera, she never forces a moment. Instead, she lets the light find her, tracing outlines that speak of strength, gentleness, and joy. Every pose, every motion, feels like a quiet love story between a woman and the body she has learned to celebrate. Designers speak of her commanding warmth, how her natural shape gives clothing new life. To her followers, she is proof that beauty doesn't need permission, it needs presence. Her confidence makes everything around her feel more vivid, colors glow brighter, silence feels softer. Jakara's romance is not with attention, but with acceptance. She moves like someone who has already made peace with herself, and that serenity is what people fall in love with when they see her. Jakara Kami's curves aren't just part of her look, they are her language. They tell stories before she even speaks. In every photo, her silhouette becomes a statement that femininity needs no apology, that softness is strength, and that a body's rhythm is its own kind of poetry. In an industry that once favored sharp angles and fragile frames, Jakara appeared like a revelation, a woman sculpted by confidence and wrapped in grace. Her hips trace the rhythm of self-acceptance, her waist tells the story of balance between discipline and self-love, her body is a map of everything real, warm, and alive. Photographers describe working with her as shooting sunlight in motion. She knows how to command a frame, how to let the light slide across her shoulders, how to hold a pose that radiates both vulnerability and power. But what makes her curves unforgettable isn't their shape, it's how she owns them. She dresses to accentuate, not conceal, choosing fabrics that move with her body rather than against it. Silks, satins, and soft cottons curve naturally along her form, each piece chosen to celebrate the lines that define her. On camera, she leans into the fullness of her figure, showing the world that beauty isn't about shrinking, it's about expanding into your truth. Jakara once said in an interview, "My curves are my confidence in physical form. Every line, every contour is a reminder that I'm allowed to take up space." Her audience loved her for that honesty. Where others might edit or hide, Jakara reframes and highlights. She posts side profiles, mid-movement shots, angles that capture the soft strength of her physique. Her captions often read like affirmations, "Every curve is a chapter, this body is my art." Through those images, she dismantled stereotypes. She taught her followers that sensuality and self-respect can coexist, that a woman can be both powerful and tender, desirable and dignified. When fashion houses began inviting her to model for plus-size and inclusive campaigns, Jakara insisted on creative direction that celebrated form, not fixing flaws. The photographers who understood her vision were the ones she worked with repeatedly, artists who could capture the poetry in her proportions, not just the glamour. Her curves became an emblem, not of rebellion, but of reclamation. In a world that often whispers, "Be smaller," Jakara Kami's body says clearly, "I belong exactly as I am." Jakara Kami doesn't just enter a room, she arrives, like a breeze carrying the promise of calm and confidence. Her presence feels timeless, almost cinematic, as if every step she takes belongs to its own slow-motion scene. She has that rare kind of beauty that doesn't demand attention, it attracts it naturally. Her figure is poetry in motion, not something to be measured, but something to be felt. Every curve tells a story of balance, care. She has built a relationship with her body that feels almost like a love story, a story about rediscovering what it means to belong to yourself. For Jakara, her body isn't an ornament, it's a vessel of experience.